Now, a lot of people, this is part 2 to the last video. A lot of people feel like, oh, Africa's a victim. They've been colonized. And Africa is in Africa's own way because Africans are naturally short-sighted. They don't think long-term. How many times have you seen Africans get on here and talk about how they were sending money home to Ghana, Kenya, wherever they're from, for the last 10, 15, 20 years to build a house or build a business, and nobody did it. They just stole the money. They get back and there's nothing. There's even Africans on here warning other Africans, hey, if you return home from the West, don't even go around your family because they'll unalive you, because anything you built for them, they want to keep it. And if you can't provide value, you're another mouth to feed. There was literally an African woman on here saying, look, if you go back to Africa from the West, you get deported or whatever, do not go home to your family. Start a whole new life. All right. So when these governments get billions, they don't think, let me modernize our military or upgrade our medical facilities, create new roads, let me farm, right? No, they presidents go out and buy a fleet of Mercedes and get a YT woman or something really young. I'm talking like fresh out the cradle young. Like she just graduated high school today and he already proposing and he's 65. And I don't have anything against people who date young, but that's not a wise decision for a man in a position of power, because you're bringing in naivety, which is actually a weak point for you, because if she doesn't understand the political world, she could be used as an end to get to you. She may not know she ain't supposed to say A or say B or talk to A or talk to B. She doesn't know that world. Example, imagine me, I become a politician, right? And I marry an 18-year-old and some newscaster casually says, hey, your husband's financial statements, I think he's a criminal, you know? And she's like, no, he's not. And she hands over my financial statements. Look, see right here, not knowing that she shouldn't even talk to them. And then they find anything they can in there to set me up. A casual conversation at a beauty salon for people doing espionage. Hey girl, so what's that project your husband working on again? Oh, he's doing this secret thing, but blah, 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 blah. Bet, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Those are the traps of when you go into the world of politics or money. That's why a lot of money dudes keep their wives ignorant. They basically put them in a golden cage, parade them around, and the woman doesn't know anything about anything for her own good. They'll give her something to do. Here's a charity ball. Here's a book club. Go do that. You know, that's the play. How many dudes have been ruined by loose-lipped females? El Chapo's side piece. So basically, when it comes to Africa, they receive billions in aid. We've been able to do far more with less. We built Greenwood out of our own pocket. Oscarville out of our own pocket. Even the city we had that they built LAX on top of, we built that out of our own pocket. Meanwhile, you have groups in Africa who are short-sighted. They don't think future. They think ball out right now. They want to be Dubai princes. They want to buy tigers. And the only forward-thinking leader Africa has ever had in our generation, in our generation, is Ibrahim Traore. And look at how other African nations are pressing him. And you know why they're pressing him? Because he's making them look bad. Everybody's looking at Burkina Faso saying, well, if Burkina Faso could do it, what's up with you, Nigeria? What's up with you, Kenya, Congo? Why y'all ain't? Oh, shit, we have to help the West bring him down because it's making us look bad. They're seeing that even with sanctions and military intervention, assassination attempts, that these people are still able to rise. And they're looking at my fleet of Mercedes too closely. Crooked ass motherfuckers. It's sad when you can't go home without the fear of being unalived. I could go home to extended family. Family I've never met that just know my mama. Family where if I meet them, they'll be, I remember when you was in diapers the last time I saw you, and I'm 40. And I could go to sleep on the couch peacefully. With or without money. These people can't even go back to their home country after sending money home for years without fearing for their lives, to the point you got their own women on here warning them, do not go home. Like she's adamant, do not go home. If you go home, your life is in danger. Like she's blowing the horn. Excuse me. They're not like us. They don't think long term. Notice when we build businesses in our community, they usually sustain for a while. They usually make an impact. Bookstores, beauty salons, restaurants, or whatever. You got copper-colored restaurants that have been standing since segregation, that still stand today, that were family funded. You got copper-colored farmers who got food products on the shelves with no government subsidies at all. There was a brother on here recently. I shared this video. I reposted it. He says their family's been in business since 2003, 20 years, and that big food is trying to push them out. And he said he inherited it from his father. So guess who's going to inherit it from him? His son. That's forward thinking. Africans don't do that. With Africa's vast land, you can terraform any land. Africa could take the worst, driest land, introduce the right minerals to it, quarantine it off from animals with a wall, and farm it and become one of the lead exporters. Japan has no rice, no watermelon. In Japan, they pay crazy amounts of money for watermelon. Tilapia is one of the highest selling fish in the world. You can start an indoor, outdoor tilapia farm. Africa could be a mass exporter of rice. All they would have to do is 1 to 2 cycles of beans, corn, and squash together to create the milpa planting system, the 3 sisters. This would terraform even the worst soil. Then as far as water irrigation, reroute flood channels. Free water. Whenever there's a flood, it trickles into your field. And you can limit it. And you can do all of this in Africa for maybe $10,000 to where you could feed an entire city and export. Now imagine if Africa got into the rice trade and they got into the watermelon trade directly with Japan. They would have residual income that is far more than the aid. What they're able to produce would be more than their diamonds, because right now food insecurity is national, it's international, because of all of the natural disasters washing away millions of acres of farmland. Cattle floating all in trees, but they don't think like that. Man, you give me $1 billion in aid and put me in charge of Nigeria. First of all, I'm going harsh on crime. I'm gonna be like Idi Amin when it comes to crime. You're gonna behave. Because you can't have a functioning society with that much criminality, where people scared to go home because they'll be unalive. You do some shit like that, I'm making examples out of people. Hey, fast trial, you out of here. That has to happen because it's too savage. People smuggling in bush meat filled with maggots into America. They need to be civilized. And they better not ever put me in charge of Nigeria. They either gonna chase me up out of there, or I'm gonna be like Bukele. It's getting a C-cot. I'm cleaning it up. And then we farming our asses off and we feeding the world. And we getting out from under the banner of needing aid. But man, you get billions in this country where $1 is worth of damn near a week's salary, and they got children eating in trash with swollen bellies. And the worst part of it is because the YT man lied and told everybody we African, our reputation is tied to that bullshit. We not the same people. Just like the Chinese and the Koreans ain't the same people. India's in Asia. Nobody compares India to China. All of it's Asia, right? We are our own distinct group of people. We always have been. They lied, reclassified us, told the world we Africans, so whatever Africa does, it points back to us, because they don't want us to tie ourselves to the mounds and sumptuous buildings of stone and the true history of how America was before they got there in 1492. They don't want you to know there was a world of builders and graceful people with skills and knowledge and wisdom. They want you to think we came in a pitiful state and some Asiatic people was originally the only ones here. Anyway, I'm out. Shalom, shalom.